there, I'll make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York.
All right, how we doing? Welcome back to another episode of the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast here on Facebook Live and YouTube. Idris, you hear me good?
What?
All right.
I heard you.
On today's show, we're going to be hitting on the end of a defense as the Philadelphia Eagles had an abrupt end to their season, losing 23-19 to the San Francisco 49ers. Kevin Petula definitely on the way out, I would have to think, as it's been something that was covered by pretty much everybody in sports media, podcasters, as well as the Eagles fan base themselves. We saw Nick Sirianni as well as AJ Brown get into it on a verbal altercation. AJ Brown, critical drop. Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, all critical drops. Saquon Barkley came to play yesterday. Eagles defense came to play yesterday. But despite the missing players and despite the mounting injuries, the San Francisco 49ers, after a disappointing season finale, losing out on home field advantage, find a way to beat the Philadelphia Eagles in Lincoln Financial, ending their defense and their opportunity at a repeat. And yeah, the theme of this weekend has, in a lot of ways, been good and bad coaching alike. You know, we saw the bad part of it with Matt LaFleur,
Oh yeah.
Daniel Nunez. Hats off to the Niners. Yeah, that's all you can really say, Nunez. They earned it. They earned it without question. Green Bay Packers are talking extension with Matt LaFleur. I, for one, think that that's a little crazy when you consider that the poor clock management, an 18-point lead. Now, granted, Brandon McManus, Green Bay's place kicker, did cost them 7 points, but when you basically the whole game script got flipped, where the Chicago defensive line was owning the Packers offensive line in the second half, where in the first half it was the complete opposite. But Matt LaFleur's unwillingness to try to take the air out of the ball, because
hmm
I'm a firm advocate that when you have a lead like that, even if you're not running the ball as efficiently as you did or as you want to, you gotta keep the clock moving.
I agree, man. I felt and with Green Bay, they've had a reputation, but we'll talk about my bad. um but let me start with Philly first. I think that the OC has to go. I agree. You gotta get rid of Patullo. AJ Brown gotta go. You know, that catch, well, that drop, that reminded me of Kenny Galladay. He didn't even try. He could have laid out just a little bit. He just tried to push his arms out there. Any other receiver, when he's in his zone, he would have died. He would have dove for that pass.
Yeah, it's an
And-
extension of the toxicity that has been, you know, synonymous with just him, man. And yeah, Nunez, you're right. Three
yeah,
passes.
and that one was just like like no effort, man. It was just no effort. And he's that type of guy who has all that talent, but he's a knucklehead. It's like he's more he wants to pad his stats more than wanting to win. Because I remember last year, the Super Bowl year, he wasn't getting all the catches early in the season, and he was riffing. But like, you're winning. You're winning this game. As for the Niners, I picked them to win. I just had a feeling they would, and I don't know who's just texting me like they're crazy. God, hey, leave me alone. Hold on a second. um, with the Niners, I had a feeling they would win based on Philly. It wasn't so much. It's okay, Nunez. We know how you get down. You good. But yeah, Kittle, that's messed up, man. I think that's going to do it for them. Yeah, I think it was more Philly why I felt the 49ers would win than it would be the 49ers doing their thing. As for Green Bay, they ended on a bad losing streak. Matt LaFleur, poor clock management, just like he's had a history of poor clock management. He's given up, like his team has given up the most fourth quarter leads behind us, but he's done more over his span of time. He reminds me of Mike McCarthy. Good coach, good offense, but for some reason he doesn't know how to manage the clock. I
I
feel
don't understand. I just fundamentally, it makes no sense what they
none.
did there. And you talked about the Niners, the mounting injuries. I said going into this first round, thus far I'm 3-2 in my picks. Quentin the Mask, he's 5-0. Friend of the show, Chris Williams, 5-0. There's a couple of guys that are 5-0 that I saw with their picks. But with Green Bay,
Hmm.
I did pick them, and I said
I did
Seattle would
too.
have a cakewalk.
I did
Seattle
too.
would have a cakewalk into the title game. Um,
Yeah.
Now they get the Niners, who are, in my opinion, more vulnerable than even a matchup with the Packers would be. So I expect Seattle to open up a can
Yeah.
next week.
Me
I
too.
look at Chicago getting another home game next week. They host the Rams. The Rams have got to play better.
They do.
But one thing that I cannot deny is Matthew Stafford, the way he was locked
Yeah.
in that final drive, told me so much about why he should probably be the MVP this year.
Yeah. You
There's a
know.
quiet confidence with that Rams team, even when
Yeah.
they're not playing their best or even when they were behind. And that was a character defining win. And,
Hmm.
two teams that came into the league together, both eliminated over the weekend. The Carolina Panthers, as well as the Jacksonville Jaguars, have
Hmm.
absolutely nothing to be ashamed of, because when I think about the kind of job that both those coaches did,
Yeah.
particularly Liam Cohn in Jacksonville,
Yeah.
you know, um, I think were it not for Ben Johnson, that's your coach of the year. But I do think Ben Johnson will get that honor this year.
Hey, I want to say something about Ben Johnson, and I know I say a lot of stuff about football, but my son sacked Ben Johnson in high school.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
My
wow.
son, my son sacked. What I didn't realize I was the same Ben Johnson that went to high school here, and I was like, my son sacked him,
That's
but they won the
interesting.
championship that year,
Okay.
and my son's high school won it the next year. Yeah, he was.
Wow.
But Ben Johnson was good. He was a good quarterback, though.
Where
I
did
didn't know
your
that
son go
was
to
him.
high school?
Huh?
Where did your son go to high school?
Astro High,
Oh,
and
wow.
Ben Johnson went to AC Reynolds. They're like
Oh,
maybe
wow.
10 minutes from each other, the Rockets.
Wow.
Because I noticed that when I seen Caleb Williams with the Ben Johnson Reynolds. I said, what's he throwing a Reynolds Rocket jersey on? And it's like my buddy Jonathan Miller, who lives here, he said, that's the Ben Johnson that played high school here. I'm like, what? I said, my son sacked his ass.
Wow.
Yeah, we got to get him on the show. I got to go full court press. Like, dude, I'm living in Asheville. Come on, man. Come on the show.
Yeah, that would be interesting. As as Caleb Williams goes, I would say that the the three big heroes in terms of guys who play the quarterback position. Number one, I gotta go Josh Allen. That was just
Yeah,
some heroism in its biggest form, winning a game that the Buffalo Bills absolutely could not afford to lose for so many reasons regarding their future. I
dude.
also think that Sean McDermott gets saved
Yeah.
because I think a loss there, they may have thrown their hat into the Harbaugh sweepstakes. But something that is interesting
Mm-hmm.
now, while Green Bay is talking extension with LaFleur, Harbaugh does have connections to the Packer organization's front office. So
Yep.
that's another interesting one. But it seems like the Packers, unless if this is a smokescreen,
Mm-hmm.
and they want to act like, oh, we couldn't come to a contracting resolution, seem to be in on bringing back Matt LaFleur, who's only 3-6 in the playoffs.
Just like Mike McCarthy. I think with there's one person I want to give some props to because coming out of college, I was real critical of him. Bryce Young, man. Next year that kid's gonna be good
A
because
lot of poise in that fourth quarter,
he is
that
starting to look
final drive.
real good now, man. He's starting to
Yeah,
get into his groove.
that
Watch
final
out for
drive,
that.
when
Hmm.
they took the lead, although I thought the Rams were going to come back, which they did,
Yeah, I did
that
too.
was that was huge. I'm going to say Josh Allen, number one.
Hmm.
I got to give Caleb Williams the same kind of respect this week because
Yeah,
while his completion percentage was on par with what he's done in the regular season, his completion percentage is not the best. He keeps throwing, he keeps trying to make plays. Him and Roma Dunze, a
yeah.
lot of miscommunication during the game where Caleb was visibly frustrated.
Hmm.
But make no mistake, play the game with Green Bay up by 11. They came within a millisecond of sacking Caleb Williams, but he threw that ball where Adunze basically started on the right side of the field and ended up all the way on the left sideline.
You know
Fourth and
who?
8 conversion. That
Mm,
was when I knew the Bears were going to end up winning that game.
Do you know who he's starting to remind me of? He's not on that level yet. He reminds me of Eli. Because Eli, he didn't have the best completion percentage, but if you gave him a chance, and with Caleb Williams, I see with him where in the first half they're getting beat, da 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 da. But if you just open that door just a little bit for him to make him feel like we got a chance, he'll burn you. He'll burn you. He's the type of guy that if he's playing bad, you got to make sure he keeps playing bad. Don't give him a window to throw through. If you do,
No, I agree with you.
you'll end up like Green Bay.
No, I agree with you. New England Patriots, strong defensive performance yesterday, taking advantage of the Chargers' issues on the O line. They have injuries there galore. And one of the worst O lines in professional football as another offseason comes
Hmm.
for the Justin Herbert without a playoff win. Another playoff game happens where Justin Herbert is constantly getting racked up and on his back.
Yeah.
Um, I feel that they were at a big disadvantage also because they tried to give Omari and Hampton a go. He was
Mm,
only able to be on the field for 2 plays. Jim
yeah.
Harbaugh knew it.
Yeah.
Enter Kamani Vidal.
Mm,
I think the Chargers defense played well enough to win. I
yeah.
didn't really care for the play calling inside the red zone for the Chargers when they had that first takeaway. But the reality is that New England's offense has to play a lot better, whoever they play in round two, because whether it's the Steelers or the Texans, and especially the Texans,
Yeah.
I say to myself, if the Chargers were able to do that
Hmm.
to the New England offense and
Yeah.
really disrupt them until New England ultimately won the battle of attrition and finally was able, player of the
Hmm.
game in my eyes for New England, at least on the offensive side, is Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah. Yeah.
As the game situationally called for Ramondre to get the brunt of the touches yesterday, as Ramondre is more of a north to south kind of back.
Right.
And, he really earned his keep yesterday.
Yeah, he
But,
did.
Drake May, a couple of observations. When
Hmm.
he feels the pressure, I know that he always wants to keep a play alive, but he's got to tuck that ball and take the sack because there were a couple of miscues on fumbles yesterday where particularly in the fourth quarter, where a fortuitous bounce could have turned into an easy Charger touchdown.
Easily.
And similar to the Chicago Bears, this is the craziest thing in that game. The Chicago Bears, if you look at most of their wins,
Yeah.
it's always when they're forcing turnovers, because on
Right.
so many metrics, statistically, the Chicago Bears are nowhere near the top in most categories.
Oh no.
You know,
No.
the big fourth quarters speak on a lot of the close wins,
Mhm.
but Green Bay managed to recover pretty much all of their fumbles. All of Green Bay's fumbles were recovered by Packers, and they even won the turnover battle, which even makes that loss more dubious.
True
New
that.
England has to play better on offense. No, undeniably, Drake May, when he feels that there's nobody open and he already knows that he's getting contacted, you got to tuck that ball, because Drake May got away with it against the Chargers. He's not going to get away with it against the Texans. And I'll be honest, Pittsburgh is not the same defense that they once were, but they do have some ball players on that team that can punch the ball out. So bottom line is, next week, whether it's Pittsburgh or Houston, but especially Houston, because Houston has the best defense in the league.
Yep.
Drake May has got to be more careful.
You know, I agree 100% on that. And I don't have faith in Chicago nor New England. I think they are where they are because they did what they had to do. A few lucky breaks here and there. And I'm not saying New England is not good, because New England is good. They got a good defense, they got a good offense, they're very balanced passing, throwing, and everything. But man, they be surviving by the skin of their chinny chin, man, just like Chicago.
They beat the 7 seed, and it wasn't the most impressive win. I
No, it
give
wasn't.
one of the craziest stats emerging from Wild Card Weekend. You have a Chicago Bears team that in 3 ball games against the Green Bay Packers never had the lead until the final whistle.
Right.
And they won 2 out of 3. That is a stat that is just absurd. The Rams and the Bears, first playoff matchup since the 85 season.
Ain't that something?
When the legendary 85 Bears,
right,
your cousin Emery Moorhead was a member of that Super Bowl winning team.
The Super Bowl shuffle.
Yes, sir. And that's how long. So you're talking about what, 40 years?
Yeah. 40 years.
That
40
is,
years, yeah.
just a quick look ahead. We'll do our prediction show later in the week, but just a quick look ahead. I like the Rams off the jump, for the simple fact that I don't think the Rams will take their foot off the accelerator on offense. And quite frankly, I know that Sean McVay is not going to make the mistakes that Matt LaFleur made. But, it should be a nice coaching matchup with a lot of creativity. And speaking of creativity, one more thing on the New England game. Ephraim Chisholm, he's like the 4th receiver. He's been getting more reps the last couple of weeks leading into the playoffs. That triple reverse, Drake May running down the sideline and attempt to hit the quarterback. I mean, the throw was a little off, but you got to love the creativity by Josh McDaniels.
That's Josh McDaniel. That's Josh McDaniel. That's what he does. You know what I mean?
And also, big shout out to the reporter that interviewed Liam Cohn after the loss.
Yeah.
It's clear her first name is Lynn. Her last name escapes me. But she works, I think, for the Jacksonville Free Press, if I'm not mistaken. And she's been getting a lot of hate for and what some people say wasn't professional. But when I think about a world that tears so many people down and always looks for something negative, even in the sports world, I think it's refreshing. I'll keep it a buck. I'm gonna name drop somebody from my past that had a good influence on me. Her name was Lulu. Black woman, New York. Her son was a football teammate of mine. Actually, the best football player on my team. He happens to be a detective in Brooklyn right now. Shouts out.
Word.
Terrence Lloyd. His mother, may she rest in peace, passed away many, many years ago. But she was the kind of person. She was the kind of person that knew how to, especially when it came to the men. Knew how to tell you what you needed to hear when you had to hear it.
Right.
And I'm gonna keep it real. There's a lot of I know a lot of women, but black women on that level that are strong
Hmm.
have a way to get a man to wake up a little different than most.
True.
And rest in peace, Lulu. You were a great woman. Much love to you. Someone who I always remember. I once in a while would eat dinner
Hmm.
at my teammate's house. He would
Hmm.
once in a while crash over at my dad's house, but I always loved when Lulu put down in the kitchen. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
gotta say, man, when I saw the positivity towards Liam Cohn, he looked like a defeated guy. And
yeah,
when you saw him light up and give himself his own personal pat on the back, so to speak, for a great season,
yeah.
which ultimately could end up in a Coach of the Year award.
Mm.
Jacksonville has nothing to be ashamed of. They should feel good
Oh,
going
no,
in. Quinton Moore, Semantic 10. That was an excellent reel that Quinton shared the other day,
yeah, yeah.
last
I
night to be
happened to see it
exact.
this morning. Yeah, yeah.
That
Um,
was
I
pretty damn good.
I agree with Lynn Cole. I mean, Jacksonville, they played great this year. But you know what? It's that home feel it is, man. They have to be the most unlucky home team ever, man. I mean, God, they played such a good, hard hitting game, man. And for it to end the way it did, man. But I mean, when you got Josh Allen, man, on the other side, dude, you can't make mistakes, dude. And that's why, you know, I want Josh Allen to win it this year. I really do, man, because that guy, with the exception of the one game against Cincinnati in the snow in Buffalo a few years ago, that guy came to play every playoff game. As for Liam Cohen, he has a bright future because he's young. That team is young. Um, Trevor Lawrence looks like he's finally getting there. Um, Again, the turnovers that last, it could have went on him. It could have went on the receiver because the throw was there, but I think the receiver could have caught that. Might have been not been perfect, but I think he could have caught that ball. But still, they didn't timeouts, man. No timeouts, and they had to go 75 yards. They had a ways to go, and even with the catch, he got caught in bounds. So,
No, I tend to agree. Idris, I'm going to take a pause on our analysis just for a second.
what do you think?
Viewing audience needs to see this.
Oh,
Yo, Philadelphia. You're at home. How you go home while you staying at home playing? How that happen? You're sitting on that couch with all of us now. Yo, you get the couch with the busted spring next to Dallas. All right? Get us a beer. Sit down and eat some of these stale pretzels. Okay? We'll see you back in August, September.
One of the most iconic laughs in the history of laughter.
you know what it reminds me of? The laugh on American Horror Story with the Oliver.
Every commercial break, I was sitting in Brett's den watching this Patriot game with him last night.
Oh, man.
Jen was like, "Stay out late, hang out with your boy." Da 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 da. So I'm hanging out with Brett watching the game. I didn't get home till about 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Brett lives about 90 minutes away. So, anyways, every time at the commercial break, I kept playing that short.
Dude,
That,
that was
I sent that to Keith Woolridge, who's a Cowboy fan. He was in fucking tears.
dude, it came across my feed. I went on Instagram first and it popped up and I busted out laughing. I said, Q1. I said, the best.
No, he killed it. He killed it.
He killed it. Yeah.
Yeah, much to say, he killed it. I mean, back to what we're saying.
Oh,
Yeah, I
boy.
think Liam Cohn finishes the runner-up in this Coach of the Year
Yeah.
situation. I mean, of course, Seattle's head coach definitely could, but I think because of the fact that Ben Johnson got the kind of success that he did from the Chicago Bears, and they're
Mhm.
still in the mix. I think that they're going to be the team that ultimately
Yeah.
their coach ultimately gets
Yeah.
it. But we'll see. You know, I mean, Seattle's still very much in it too.
Yeah.
But
Either's
also Ben Johnson being a
deserving.
rookie head coach.
Yeah, either's deserving. I wanted Carolina to go further because I wanted their coach to get it, because I was like, he's done a great job in Carolina, man. He's done
No,
a
no
great
question.
job.
And this is one of those playoff brackets
Mhm.
where, for more times than not, you don't
Yeah.
see it this obvious.
Mhm.
But you have lower seeded teams that legitimately were better than, or at minimum, just as good as the
Mhm.
teams that were hosting. Because you look at just a look ahead to next week, the Buffalo Bills travel to Denver, and the Buffalo Bills are the favorite.
Yeah, and they should be.
And going back to the Jacksonville game, Buffalo started out as a slight favorite. They ended up being a 2-point dog. Now they're actually the favorites. And it's been a minute. The
Mhm.
Philadelphia Eagles, going way back to when Nick Foles came in for an injured Carson Wentz, that's the last time a 1 seed in the playoffs was the underdog.
That's wild. That is wild.
So there is something to be said about that.
Mhm.
Um, I thought it was going to look like Rams, Seahawks, possibly round 2. I think we're going to have to wait a week for that. I do not see the Chicago Bears beating the Rams this week.
I don't
We're going
either.
to get more detailed into it on our preview show.
Mhm.
I do think it'll be entertaining, though. But like I said, I don't think a Sean McVay-led offense is going to take their foot off the gas in the same fashion
No.
that it happened. Now, Q undefeated on his picks. I know for a fact that he had picked the Houston Texans. I share his sentiments. Although I would prefer to see the Steelers win, to see Aaron Rodgers, what he has up his sleeve. I just don't see it. I think he's going to be a sitting duck tonight. I don't. He doesn't have the mobility that he had in his younger years.
Mhm.
And in order for the Steelers to win this game, they're
Mhm.
going to have to obviously win the turnover battle. But you're also going to need your defense to show up and have C.J. Stroud have a rough night. And I've said this many times on the show.
Uh-huh.
I personally think that Davis Mills was the better answer at quarterback.
I agree.
Some 49er fans felt that Mac Jones was the better answer. I don't share that sentiment.
Mhm.
Brock Purdy has proven his worth, Mr. Irrelevant, super
Mhm.
relevant now, as he's proven his worth. I do think that the Cinderella Niners meet their match next week. Seattle already proved the way that they could bottle up that 49er offense, and now without Kittle, it's going to be even worse. I think that's the one game that's going to be a legitimate blowout. But Denver and the Bills is going to be good. I do lean towards the Bills getting the dub there.
Mhm.
And I'll put it to you like this: if the Patriots draw the Steelers, I like the Patriots. But if the Patriots draw the Texans, I like the Texans.
Yeah, I can roll with that because the Texans got the defense. They got that defense. The only thing with the Texans, playing, like I said, I know, like I think I said last week, I know, CJ Stroud, he played at Ohio State, so he's used to that cold weather.
For
But
sure.
but
They're gonna
you know what?
need a big contribution.
Yeah,
They need the Texans need to be able to run the ball. And now Christian
they're gonna have
Gonzalez is dinged up too, so that's another thing to keep an eye on.
right. They're gonna have to be able to run the ball because CJ Stroud's not looking that good. He's looking okay, but he's not looking
They're
that good.
playing a much more healthier team, and a team that just has a better offensive flow. Because I'm not going to put that loss on Herbert and Harbaugh yesterday when you look at just the injuries up front. And speaking of Harbaugh, his brother John,
Hmm.
uh, Giants are hot for him, as are the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons, I talked to Q off air, among others, with their quarterback conundrum and their purgatory at quarterback, so to speak. I do not foresee him going to Atlanta. I think
No,
he's going to do what he's supposed to do, give a couple of people a listen. But I do believe that he ultimately will be the New York Giants' next head coach for a litany of reasons. But one of the big reasons is he's going to get that respect, similar to Bill Parcells many years before him, having
hmm,
input in the war room in a big way. I
hmm,
don't think it's necessarily I need my own GM kind of shit. As long as he has a good sense that he could make some moves. But you
hmm,
have some fortified pieces in New York. You have a top 12 offensive line.
hmm.
You have a situation where they're going to try to bring Wandell back, I would think.
Yeah, you
Um,
have to.
Brian Burns, number 2 sack man in the NFL.
Yeah,
And your three most important positions on offense, actually four most, you got left tackle,
Mm-hmm.
you got running back one, you got a good running back two,
Mm-hmm.
you got wide receiver one and Neighbors, and
Mm-hmm.
you've got Jackson Dart. So I think, given the youth of this team and the fact that this team had so many leads, this is a great situation for Harbaugh where he doesn't have to build something from the ground up, like if he went to Miami or
Mm-hmm.
if he went to Atlanta and did something like Sean Payton did and had to wait, like he
Yeah.
did in Denver, till certain contracts came off the books until their money got right. This is a situation, and you got to take his age into account too. He's in his young 60s, similar to when Coughlin came to the Giants.
Yep. I,
So this is a guy that wants to be back in playoff football in the next year or two, and I do believe that with the Dallas Cowboys and Washington Commanders both possibly trending down, this is a time where the New York Football Giants can make a legitimate leap in the NFC East, especially when you look at even the issues going on in Philly. And something that Shady McCoy said that I thought was interesting. He didn't exactly name drop, but he did say that part of the reason why Philly's offense has been so vanilla is because Jalen Hurts just can't do certain stuff.
yeah. I think with Harbaugh, you have a young nucleus. We got a quarterback. Got a young quarterback. It'll be his second year. Who's all in? You got a young running back, Scat, who's all in. They love New York. Those two are like brothers.
And Tracy's coming off a nice season, 1,000 all-purpose yards.
Mm-hmm. You got a backup
Wandell broke 1,000 receiving.
right. You got a backup quarterback in Jameis. That's your veteran right there. That's your veteran.
That's the right guy that you want in Dart's ear, along with whichever way they go with OC. There's a good possibility that Harbaugh brings his OC from Baltimore. Now, defensive coordinator is an interesting one.
Yeah.
Because the Giants did play well the final month of the year under the interim defensive coordinator. But I do believe that with the new regime coming in, you're going to see a situation where Kafka will be calling plays for another team next year, possibly Philadelphia, believe it or not.
Yeah.
The point is that this is going to be all new faces. So there are some qualified guys to run the defense. It's just a matter of who we get.
Right.
I, for one, if in the event that we didn't score Harbaugh and we ended up with Stefanski,
I'll take Stefanski.
I wanted Jim Schwartz to run our defense, and I think
Oh
that
my
was more
goodness.
probable if
Oh,
Stefanski
man.
came in. But truthfully,
I would love Jim Schwartz as DC.
it's similar to when you have the big free agents in basketball or any sport for that matter. When the first big domino or two falls, that's when everything else follows. So all these other coaches right now are waiting to see what Harbaugh does. But I do think that come Friday or so, John Harbaugh,
Mhm.
will put his name on the dotted line and he will join the New York Football Giants to bring, in my opinion, within time, a fifth Lombardi trophy, which would put him as the first NFL coach,
Mhm.
unless if somebody does it before him, which I don't see, unless Peyton wins one before him or somebody else does it before him,
Mhm.
to win a Super Bowl as the main man coaching two different teams. Andy Reid fell short of that. Bill Parcells fell short of that. Tom Coughlin was close with Jacksonville but didn't get it done. Dick
Mhm.
Vermeil fell short of that because he didn't get it done with the Eagles.
Mhm. Yeah, like Q said, we got him. I think, and when I say my sources, Richie, my sources are pretty good.
Yeah. And we keep that tight-lipped, but
Yeah.
yes, the source is super reliable. So let's just say that.
I mean, because
that there is a good wide receivers coach that perhaps might
yeah,
want to jump off a burning ship.
you know what? Let me go ahead and text his agent right quick, and yeah, let me do that right quick. And be like, hey, there's an opening.
We did
Right.
have the privilege of having wide receivers coach Aaron Moorhead on the panel.
Mhm.
He does have connections to the Harbaugh coaching tree, so it would be kind of cool. I mean, granted, it was the other brother, it was Stanford, but it would be kind of cool. New blood we're talking about if Aaron possibly came over to Blue. I mean, after all, his father was drafted by the Giants in the latter 70s. It would
Yeah.
be interesting. But bottom line is, to Q's point, I would not be mind blown if the Giants do something similar to what the Patriots did this year and go from last to first in one short year. Because when you look at the close games that they lost this year, and we know what the problems are. We need a cornerback one, we need a sideline linebacker, and we need to get another third monster at edge with what I believe will be a walk year with Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm 100%. Everything Harbaugh needs is right there in New York.
He's got the ingredients already. Now it's time to start
Everything's
doing some meal preparation.
You know what?
I like the situation for him, even if I wasn't a Giant fan,
You know what?
which I couldn't imagine not being. I believe that this would be the premier destination.
You know, whatever coach comes to New York, which I hope is Harbaugh first, Stefanski second, or Harbaugh comes in, Stefanski's his OC. Whichever one comes in, they are in a good position with the Giants because
Yeah,
of
no
what
question.
they have on offense. We
No,
got
this is a good situation all the way around. I personally believe that Harbaugh and Shane are going to work well together, and I think Shane knows how fortunate he is that he gets to keep that GM seat, and he will concede some of the responsibilities and definitely confide working together with John Harbaugh, because you look at it, he gave Dable that grace too to a level, and obviously Harbaugh has a resume that squashes Dable's, and it squashes a lot of coaches. I mean, you look at that win-loss ratio, the one failure on Harbaugh's part, but I'm not going to put that all on him, because I do think that part of the reason why he's out in Baltimore is that he was tired of Lamar Jackson having different rules and getting superstar princess treatment and questioned Lamar's work ethic. And at the end of the day, he might be onto something, because Lamar has come up small in the playoffs.
And you know the funny thing about that? They were saying how those two weren't getting along because, Harbaugh's going to hold you accountable. He's going to hold you accountable. And, yeah, I think the move was good for him.
Daniel Nunez still picking out his feathers.
Yeah, I see.
We'll see, Nunez. We'll see.
You know something, Nunez? Last week you said the 49ers didn't have a chance against the Eagles too.
I'm also going to go as far as saying that when Amazon Prime rolled out the premiere of Saquon Barkley's little football doc.
Yeah.
That they set that up when they were in Jersey. Like, oh, this is gonna be an easy win, and it's gonna be a nice little coronation for the new production.
Yeah.
Nunez, the beating that the Giants gave you guys in Jersey, and the fact that they were in the game in Philly before the scat injury and before the referees forgot what defensive pass interference looks like.
Right.
The Giants are in that game. The gap between the Giants and the Eagles is not that substantial anymore.
It's not that big. We beat Dallas and the Giants. We beat Dallas and the Eagles by the same exact score, 34.
I got a couple of predictions that I'm going to fly at you. Brian Dable, OC, Brian Flores, head coach for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Ooh, man, I hope not.
I think Kevin Stefanski might be interested in the Arizona job.
I hope them two don't get together, because that'd be tough. One is the OC, one is the DC.
Well, they have a history together, and I think Flores is more qualified to be the head coach.
Oh no, I'm not saying it in a bad way. No, I'm saying it'd be a bad way for us.
No, I know. But the Raiders got a lot of work to do. So we'll see. And these are two guys that Tom Brady, who's got a lot more influence upstairs than people previously realized.
I think Stefanski goes to Atlanta, man. I say Atlanta or Arizona, one of those two.
The reason I think Arizona is because Arizona is in a better position to move things at quarterback. The quarterback situation in Atlanta is a big deterrent for a lot of coaches. It's going to take patience, similar to the patience that Sean Payton showed.
And they're strapped too, because what I was trying to tell the Atlanta Falcons fan, y'all don't realize you guys are on the hook for $57 million with Kirk Cousins, and you still got to pay Michael Penix Jr. If you move Kirk Cousins, which I doubt if you want to do, but if you move him, whoever you move him to, you're going to have to pay some of that salary. You already know Michael Penix Jr., like me and Q, I said this about RG3. I said he won't last 8 years. Michael Penix Jr. won't last 6 years. So you already...
Kingsbury. Yeah, Cliff Kingsbury to Miami.
I could see that.
And
can
I
see
could
it.
see Mike McCarthy possibly dusting himself off if he's willing to play the long game in Atlanta, but I don't think McCarthy's going there.
Nah. McCarthy, if anywhere, I'm pretty sure Stefanski's going to Arizona. McCarthy to Vegas, I don't know about that one.
I really think they're gonna go with the former Patriot coordinators. That's that Belichick tree. That's that Saban tree. I think that's
Yeah,
what Brady has envisioned
yeah,
in Vegas. As this coming week goes, like I said, we're going to be doing a detailed preview of everything football related coming up on
yep.
our next show. But yeah, we're just kind of hitting on everything. So my final prediction for tonight, 23-16 in favor of the Houston Texans. Idris, who you got?
Steelers,
All right.
21-17.
All right. We'll see how it plays out tonight. If you haven't already, please make it a point to like and subscribe to the channel, the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast on YouTube. Shouts out Josh Hart making his return yesterday. Knicks get a much needed dub.
Yep.
Josh Hart, his absence was very evident. So happy that he's back in the New York lineup. I expect the Knicks to get back to their winning ways over the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
They had a rough little patch there, which was more of an obvious rough go than when Jalen Brunson was even injured.
Mhm.
What else on the brain? Thinking here. I think that's it for now. Anything that you want to speak on before we get out of here, Idris?
This right here. The Boom Bap Show, the Boom Bap Sports Show starts Wednesday at 10 a.m. What we going to do on Wednesday? I was going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to do it Wednesday. What we're going to do, we're going to talk about sports, and we're going to talk about hip-hop. We're going to talk about sports. We're going to talk about other entertainers. We're going to talk about celebrities who crossed over, who played sports, and from sports, they went on to be actors. They went on to be musicians, like my fellow Gemini, the late Wayman Tisdale, who was a great jazz artist in his career.
I told you I went to middle school with Tisdale's nephew.
Yeah. And he, me and him was born on the same day, June 9th. That's what we're doing, man. We're merging sports with other things. Those who had their hands in something else. We're gonna also talk about boxing and stuff, but we're gonna be paying more attention to the crossovers. What these athletes did during the game and what they did after to merge it together and keep with Shaq. People think Shaq just started rapping. Shaq was back in the late 80s, early 90s with "What's Up, Doc?" with the Fushnickers and all that. He was dope.
And let's not forget that the Newark influence was huge with Shaq.
Yes, sir. Big time. He made it clear, too.
That's a huge reason why Shaq has always been so involved in community.
Yes.
Because one thing about Newark,
mm-hmm.
that was a big stomping grounds for
mm-hmm.
the nation.
Mm-hmm.
But also, just in terms of being business-centric, entrepreneur-centric, that was huge in Newark.
Yep.
And Shaq definitely absorbed a lot of that.
Yep. So we're gonna be doing that every Wednesday. So 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Might move it to a later part of the day. I'm not sure yet, but I'll let you know tomorrow. Announcements. Excuse me. Drinking some Schweppes. I'll let you know, but yeah, we're gonna be doing it. 2026, y'all. The Richard Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast. We are doing it up, y'all. Aaron Moorhead, come on the show. Aaron Moorhead, come on the show. I need Aaron Moorhead to explain what happened to the Philadelphia Eagles and A.J. Brown.
I don't know if he's going to come directly on. I see an immediate vacation in Aaron's future, but to Eagles Nation.
What did you say?
I see an immediate vacation before he gets back to talking football. You got to decompress a little.
Yeah, right.
But Aaron, don't wait too long, man. They're building something beautiful at Big Blue. But before we get out of here, too,
you look good in blue, man.
Absolutely. To Philadelphia Eagles Nation, one more time.
Yo, Philadelphia. You're at home. How you go home while you staying at home playing? How that happen? You're sitting on that couch with all of us now. Yo, you get the couch with the busted spring next to Dallas. All right? Get us a beer. Sit down and eat some of these stale pretzels. Okay? We'll see you back in August, September.
Beer and stale pretzels. Stale pretzels and beer. Have no fear. The mask is here. We are out.
Ooh, boy.